Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the Short Sports Show. I'm your host, Daniel Short. Today is Monday, October 21st, 2013, and doing a little bit differently. Gonna try to actually, instead of having stuff all on paper and going, writing stuff down, trying to save a little bit of time and see if I can do this computer-wise. I got my USBs all set up. Yeah, it's all crazy. But anyways, before we get into the show, you guys know the routine. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at short_sports24-7. Also on Facebook, The Short Sports Show. And if you missed this episode or any other episodes, I got you covered. Go on YouTube, type in The Short Sports Show, and click like, subscribe, favorite, comment, all of the other good stuff. And, one thing I wanted to bring up is I am running out of space. Now, I'm trying to save some money here, and the way Spreaker is set up is that, if you look at it on a computer, it makes more sense than if you're listening to this onto a phone or something. But anyways, I only have, because this is a free account, because I'm trying to save some money here. I only have about 10 total hours of being able to broadcast. That's why shows are only 30 minutes. And that's why, if I could come up with the words right now, I only have 10 hours total. Right now I'm about 7 hours. So once I get to probably 9 hours, which will be about 4 episodes from now, I just want to bring this up. I'm going to delete all these other, I feel like I put more emphasis on delete, all the episodes off Spreaker. Now, don't worry if you missed them or want to re-listen to them. It's on YouTube. All the episodes from my intro to the first one to right now, they're all on YouTube. So Spreaker just won't have, so I can have more space. If you understand what I'm trying to say there. But anyways, let's get on to as I try to move this around. I'm good with computers, but sometimes not that good. College football. A lot of crazy stuff happened over the week. The BCS rankings have come out, and to be honest with you, I've got a little fit with them. Now I'll go over I might as well go over the scores first. Friday night, it was before my show, but UCF and Louisville, number 8 Louisville played. Final score 38-35. Louisville loses in the final minute. UCF gets the win. And I called it. I don't think I got this. I was pretty close to the score. I think I said like 31-30, something around that. But UCF got it. So UCF's 5-1. Louisville drops to 6-1 and is out of national championship contendership. That sounded right. Anyways, my TCU Horned Frogs again have no offense, and I'm not gonna go on a rant. I did plan on going to, but it's too much and it's too repetitive. TCU needs a new offensive coordinator and probably a new quarterback. Trevon Boykin, I've been a huge fan of him since he was a redshirt freshman. The year he actually did redshirt, I was a huge fan of him under Casey Paul Hall, and I was wishing Boykin would become the next big quarterback like what Jameis Winston's doing. Basically, that's what I had him planned for Trevon Boykin. He has not lived up to expectations, and he's got plenty of receivers. We have great running backs. We don't have the best offensive line, but something's got to give here. And when you have a terrible offensive coach and the offensive coordinator, there's nothing you can do. If you can't score points, you're not going to win. TCU can hold people to very minimum points. We held Oklahoma to 20. We held Texas Tech to 10. And if you're now listening, you're like, TCU didn't hold Texas Tech to 10. Yes, we did. Referees gave the other 10. That's another thing. Anyway, let's go down on the other scores because there's a lot of news, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get all of this into just 30 minutes. Oregon did win against Washington State 62-38. I think, what was it? The head coach for Oregon came out and said that he thought Mike Leach was disrespectful. I don't see why, because it's not like Washington State ever had a lead in the game. So I think it's just complaining a little bit too much, making something out of nothing. Alabama dominated Arkansas. I was going for the upset. Did not happen. Final score is 52-0. Boy, I look stupid, huh? Florida State and Clemson played, and wow, a game that was supposed to be a very close game like the Alabama A&M game turned into a blowout. Final score, Florida State 51, Clemson 14, and Taj Boyd, say goodbye to your Heisman hopes and say goodbye to your number one pick hopes right there. Down the drain, one game, just like that, takes it away. Iowa couldn't hold on, loses to number 4, Ohio State. Wow, that felt weird. Excuse me. Ohio State wins 34-24. LSU gets upset by Ole Miss 27-24. And it's very weird because I have been going for Ole Miss in almost every game. I went for them against Alabama. I went for them against A&M. They disappointed me both of those times. The time I don't go for Ole Miss, they end up winning. So, Ole Miss fans, I promise you I will never go for your team because I hope Ole Miss actually does good. So, here we go. Auburn holds off Johnny Manziel, 45-41 final score. I guess you could count that as an upset as well. Now, before people go on and say, well, Johnny Manziel was hurt, he couldn't do the best. Last time I checked, I think Johnny Manziel plays quarterback, not defense. A&M's defense is terrible, downright terrible. And I was talking to one of my friends who's a huge A&M fan, and he said that the defense could not hold a conversation. That was pretty funny. I sound pretty dumb when I said that. But anyways, it was really funny. And the defense, and he was right. The defense for A&M is terrible, and that's probably why they're getting a lot of defensive commits right now. It's because they know they can start right when they get there. But hopefully, if they're listening, don't go there. Go to TCU. Go Frogs. Anyways, Auburn did get the victory, 45-41, and Manziel, who knows how he is right now, and I'm pretty sure he'll be okay. But good thing for A&M fans, they got 3 easy wins. They got, well, maybe not the first game because usually Vanderbilt is a very easy team to beat. They upset Georgia. Final score was 31-27. And Georgia has just plummeted this year. And so has Aaron Murray. So that might be a tough game, but they have it at home. Then A&M plays UTEP and then plays some weak school. I don't know what the third school is. But right there, instead of looking at a 5-2 record right now, you're looking at a 8-2 record by that point. So you're okay. A&M, you are still okay. You will still make a BCS bowl game. Obviously, the championship is out of reach. SEC championship is also out of reach. A&M would need Alabama to lose 3 games this year for A&M to go ahead and win the West. And that would also include LSU start losing some games as well. So it looks like A&M will not be there. But another team that will be in the SEC championship, most likely, other than Alabama, is now they're like number something. That was stupid for me to say that. But at the time, they were number 14, and that is 7-0 Missouri. Who would have thunk? Missouri. Just undefeated. Just overall, just undefeated. I don't care what conference, even if they were back in the Big 12. Who would have thought them being undefeated? I know I didn't. Final score, they beat Florida 36-17. And, obviously I'm against Florida this year just because people rated them so high. I said that they were bad. They lost a few games that I said they would lose, and they did, and proved my point. But Missouri, wow. I think they're now in the top 5. We'll go to this. We'll talk about the BCS standings in just a little bit. Baylor scores 71 against Iowa State, and I will give a little bit of credit to Baylor before I go out and crash them when I talk about the BCS standings. Baylor, I didn't think they scored 71 on Iowa State. Iowa State's an okay team. They should have beat Texas, so that's the thing to keep in mind. They are 1-5 right now, which is a terrible record, but I just want to keep that in mind. They almost beat Texas and should have beat Texas. Baylor, now I give them a little bit more credit for their offense. Remember, I said that early in the year they played nobody, which they did. They played absolutely nobody. And now, they struggled against K-State, which I said they would because that was their first tough test, playing against a good defense, or an okay defense, and they only scored 30-something points, which is still very high. And don't get me wrong, that's good. But, everybody's like, oh, they're going to be like Oregon where they're scoring 60 points plus per game. See, Oregon actually has a really good offense. They actually, no matter who they play, they always score more than 50 points, it seems. Baylor, they play very weak teams in the beginning. They play Oklahoma in a few weeks. That'll be their first test. And if they score more than 35 points, Baylor's a really good team. If they lose or score less than 35 points. They're terrible, and I've been right since the beginning. What else happened? Texas Tech gets away from an upset by West Virginia. Oklahoma comes back. Washington absolutely got stomped against Arizona State, 53-24, and that seems about it. So we'll go on and talk about the BCS standings. They came out last night. Alabama obviously was number one. Clear-cut number one, and there's no doubt about it. They should be. Alabama number one. Number two is Florida State after a huge game against Clemson, and they deserve it. And I know Oregon fans are upset because, we're still playing really good teams. How is Florida State? They played, two good teams maybe? But the thing is, they played the number 3 team, Clemson, who we all thought was this. No one could say, and no one that's not completely biased can say that they thought Florida State was going to blow out Clemson, because if they said that, they didn't say it. That's the point. They didn't say it. So Florida State deserves a second, being number 2. Oregon follows them at number 3, then Ohio State at number 4, and Missouri at number 5. The top 5 I completely agree with. Now I think it's a huge jump that Missouri had when they were number 14 and jumped to number 5. Thing is, it's a huge thing for SEC. SEC being, everybody all on them on being SEC. In other words, I don't know if that makes sense. Everybody loves the SEC apparently. I'm not a huge fan of it, but that's just me. Anyways, Missouri gets number 5, but the top 5 I'm okay with, and I could see Missouri moving up and taking over Ohio State. I keep saying Iowa. Ohio State's spot, because if you look at the schedules, and this year, that's the only change about the BCS. And it's too bad that they did it so late, because next year we have playoffs, which I wish there was a 16-team playoffs. That's going to be amazing if that ever happens. I don't like this 4-team playoffs. I think it's really stupid. It's another discussion, though. But Ohio State plays Penn State this upcoming week. I'm excited for that game. I'm going for my Nittany Lions. That's the last team, other than Michigan. That is the last team that Ohio State has a tough game against. Everybody else is just something they're going to squeeze. They're going to just blow by. Now, one loss, absolutely 100% takes them out of the national championship contender spot, because it's so weird, because Missouri, I think A&M is their only tough game they have left. I don't know if they play LSU. If they play LSU, that'll be that's a little toss-up right there. But man, this might be just a college football section. Jeez, we got 16 minutes. Okay, we'll just go down to listings. Basically, I can see Missouri taking the number 4 spot depending on who they play. But Oregon still has to play Stanford, which Stanford's out. I know they're number 6 right now, but beating Oregon, that would take them out of the national championship contender spot. And I don't think Florida State loses another game. I think they're way too good. I think we are going to see Alabama, Florida State national championship, which I'm kind of okay with. I really want to see Oregon, because they kind of deserve it after a while. But I think we are watching the steps of Alabama, Florida State. Last, from 6 to 25, we'll go down with it. Stanford at number 6, Miami at 7. Miami should have not jumped up. I know a lot of things happened last week with upsets, but Miami barely got away with a win against North Carolina. And they really should have dropped at least to 12, at least to number 12. But they are at number 7. Baylor at 8, Clemson at 9, and Texas Tech at 10. Now, Baylor and Texas Tech being that high is dumb. Dumb. Strength of schedule, and I don't think I finished my point there, is a huge thing for the BCS this year. But Baylor hasn't played anybody. Has not played anybody. Unless you want to say K-State, that is it. That is the only team they have played that is actually solid. This entire games that they have played, all 7 of them, is only K-State. And K-State is 2-4 right now? So that tells you they're not playing that tough a schedule. And Texas Tech, Should have lost to TCU. I'm just saying, but should have lost to TCU. And other than that, they really haven't played anybody either. So, and they almost lost to West Virginia. So, are they top 10 teams? Absolutely not. No way. And I'm going to say that to I can't think of an analogy right now. But the point is, they are not a top 10 team, and it is a disgrace. The Big 12 has been terrible this year, and I'm even talking about my TCU Horned Frogs. They are terrible this year. We have the best defense, have a terrible offense, and if you can't score points, you're not going to win any games. So this Big 12 year has been terrible. Oklahoma State has been bad. Everybody else has been bad. I'm saying Baylor's bad. I'm saying Texas Tech is bad. Both of those teams haven't played anybody. So that's my little rant, my rants. I should just have a show, just rants. Instead of the short sports show, the long rant show is probably what it's going to be called. Anyways, number 11, Auburn jumps up after defeating Texas A&M. UCLA, LSU, Virginia Tech. Wow, I just noticed Virginia Tech's in here. That's all wrong. They are not a top 15 team. Oklahoma at number 15, A&M at 16, Fresno State at 17, Northern Illinois at 18, Oklahoma State, Louisville goes to 20, South Carolina, Michigan, UCF, Nebraska, and Oregon State round off the top or the bottom 20 to 25. So, so seems like it's a little kind of just dumb. Let's see what else. Other news in college football. The AAC, the American Athletic Conference, and will announce Thursday the creation of the Miami Beach Bowl. And I think it's amazing because they will be playing at the Miami Marlins Stadium or park, whatever they want to call it. Starting in 2014, they will go against they would play teams against Conference USA, Mid-American Conference, and the Sun Belt from 2014 to 2019. I think that's awesome. That'd be really cool to see. I like the games that are played at Yankee Stadium. They're played in, wasn't there one in Chicago somewhere? It's not the White Sox. It probably was the Cubs, but I feel like that's not right. Somewhere in Chicago. And I think this is going to be really cool. I think it's going to be a really awesome bowl game. I know it's going to have pretty bad teams, but it's still a nice, just turn on the TV and watch that. That would be nice to see. Let's see. Washington reveals Don James plans. Washington will hold a public memorial service for former football coach Don James on Sunday after finding out he passed away in his home due to cancer. I can't say the first name. It's so bad. I'm trying to make this my job and I can't say words. But he coached at Washington from 1975 to 1992 and led the school to a share of the 1991 national championship. Rest in peace. I remember seeing that all over the newspaper up here in Seattle. And to be honest, I didn't even know Washington had won a national championship. That threw me off. David Ash won't return against TCU. David Ash had suffered a concussion against BYU on September 7th and has not played ever since. He only played 3 games this year. In his place, senior Case McCoy is expected to make his 4th start of the year. He's passed for 764 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception this year. He's 2-1 as a starter with the big win over Oklahoma, which I never thought would have happened. But I was really kind of hoping David Ash would start because last year when TCU was at Texas on Thanksgiving night and defeated Texas on Thanksgiving night, thank you very much. Just had to get my point out there. He struggled against TCU defense. And I think it's the same thing that's going to happen in Case McCoy. I think he's going to struggle against TCU. I know he's got a little bit of speed on him. But I think we did a good job against Oklahoma State in the first half before our defense got completely tired. TCU, I'm not worried about who we play on offense. I'm not even worried about Baylor when we play them. I really am not. I know people think, oh, you're bluffing, you're trying to act up. No, I'm completely serious. If you were right in my face, I look you dead in the eye and tell you, I'm not scared of Baylor. I know our defense because we have the best secondary in the NFL, in the college football ranks. We have the best cornerback in Jason Verrett. who will be not number one, first round draft pick. Come on, Dan, slow down a little bit. Will be a first round draft pick and will be the first cornerback taken overall. So I'm not worried about anybody's offense, especially now we're going against the weaker offense. We got Texas coming up, then West Virginia, then we're on the road at Iowa State, at K-State, who both of those offense cannot get it going. And then last game at home against Baylor. I'm not worried against anybody's offense. What I'm worried about is our offense. We can't score. So we can easily, and I'm going to come out and I want to say this. I've been talking to my dad about it, but TCU is either going to go 3-9 or we're going to finish off the year 8-4. And the reason I say that is if there's no change in our offense, we will lose every single one of these games because our defense cannot stay on the field for more than 35 minutes. If the team has the possession time of more than 30 minutes and we're only having about 10 minutes of the, I know that's not right, but basically we have not got a first down. We've struggled to get first down. When we played Oklahoma, we did not get a first down in the first half at all. 0 first downs in the first half. We had, I think, 50 total yards, 41 total yards of offense. Then last week when we played Oklahoma State, we had 2 first downs and I think 14 yards of total offense. And I know 20 yards, but I think we had like a loss of something and then a flag, something like that. So TCU's offense is what scares me because we can't do anything with it. Try to run this up a little bit. Miami clears Duke Johnson to play. He did get hurt against North Carolina, who later came on. Who came on for him was Dallas Crawford, who had the game-winning touchdown. But is cleared to play against Wake Forest this week. So that's good for him. And basically NFL news. So my San Diego Chargers got the win. I didn't even need to give them a speech because we played the best team in the NFL, and that's the Jacksonville Jaguars. Cricket. Yeah, I know. Just kidding. 24-6. Phillip Rivers had a game. Now, I know it was Jacksonville. I know. But he was 22 for 26, 285 yards, and a touchdown. And he started off the game 14 for 14, so that's pretty good. Ryan Matthews had 110 yards on 21 carries and a touchdown. These past 2 games for Ryan Matthews that's why we drafted Ryan Matthews 2 years ago. Because we expected games like this from him. I don't mind him getting 20 carries and 100 yards. I know it's not averaging a whole lot right there, but as long as you're getting 100 yards per game, I'm okay with that. But to tell you how bad our defense is, and I've been telling people about this, our pass defense being the worst, we let Chad Henne have 318 yards of passing offense. He passed for 318 yards against us. What do you think is going to happen when Peyton Manning comes out and plays us? Exactly. Bengals won 27-24 in a game-winning field goal. Bills get the victory 23-21 over the Dolphins. Buccaneers remain winless against the Falcons 31-23. And the Jets and Patriots go overtime 30-27. Jets, 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 get the victory. Cowboys dominate the Eagles and pretty much messed up everybody on that team. They hurt, if I can talk, Daniel. Nick Foles and Matt Barkley came in 11 for 20, 129 yards, 3 interceptions. Yeah, USC has not had a good quarterback since never. Bears lose against the Redskins 41-45, and Jay Cutler screwed me up. I started him over Tom Brady because obviously the Redskins defense is not good at all. And I was like, Jay Cutler's going to light it up. I don't know what I was doing. I wasn't paying attention to the actual score and whatnot. I see that after the game, he didn't play in the second half, and I get negative .88 yards or points. Terrible. All right, we got to speed this up. 5 minutes. Dang, I had a whole lot more to talk about. Anyways, Rams get the No, they don't. Rams lose to the Panthers 30-15, and Bradford is out for the year. We'll talk about injuries in just a little bit. But Cam Newton doing pretty good. I feel like, 2 weeks ago? I talked about Cam Newton not being good, and what happens now? He's actually doing good. Maybe he's listening to my show, guys. Maybe he's listening. You want to order a hat, just let me know, man. I'll make one for you. Like for $150 or something. Just kidding. 49ers finally get the old Kaepernick back. Defeat the New York Titans, really, Daniel? Tennessee Titans, 31-17. And Jake Locker came back. He did pretty good. 326 yards on 2 touchdowns. And, excuse me, Kaepernick only 199 yards passing. But did rush for, I think, about 2 touchdowns. Is that right? Does that sound right? Maybe. But 49ers get the victory 31-17 and improve to 5-2 on the year. Browns can't do it. Can't do it. Whedon is still struggling. He was 17 for 42. Brandon Whedon was 17 for 42. Terrible. 149 yards and a touchdown. I'm pretty sure he had a few interceptions. Willis McGahee, 11 carries, 39 yards, and nothing. Final score, Packers 31, Browns 13. The Kansas City Chiefs escaped by 1 point. Escape just a little bit. Against the Houston Texans, 17-16. And Case Keenum did pretty good at 50% pass completion. He was 15 for 25, 271 yards, and a touchdown. And they did not have an Arian Foster. So they did pretty good. Imagine if Arian Foster was there. But the Texans do drop to 2-5 on the year. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. That's bad. Ravens lose to the Steelers 19-16, and it's always those both times they play every year. Those games are so low scoring, and it's like you're watching a college football game where it's like all about defense and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? So Ravens dropped to 3-4, and Steelers improved to 2-4. And in the game last night, what a game! Colts beat the Broncos 39-33. And again, I'm talking about the same friend here. Shout out to Dimitri. He is a Broncos fan and a Texas A&M fan. And me and him are friends. I'm a San Diego Charger fan. He's a Broncos fan. You're like, wow, how are you guys friends? Yeah, I know. And he's an A&M fan, and I'm a TCU fan. So it's like, what if those two teams were rivals? See, that'd be crazy. Anyways, he said the same thing. The defense did a bad job and a lot of penalties against the Broncos, which, yeah, there were a few. And Ronnie Hillman has just been struggling this year. And before I get into it, did you guys see the hit that Pat McAfee put on Trenton Holiday? Oh, that was amazing. And then he gets drug tested after that hit. Like, are you serious? It's a punter. Relax. I mean, he had his good shot. And Percy Harvin, breaking news, guys. Percy Harvin returned to practice today for the Seattle Seahawks, and that is huge news for them. We got 2 minutes left. Oh, my goodness. Oh, okay. Anyways, 39-33, and the Colts have beat the Broncos, Seahawks, and the 49ers, but lost to the San Diego Chargers. Hello. And sad news today, Titans owner Bud Adams dies at the age of 90 years old. I don't know what the rule is for Hall of Fame, but because I don't know if they have to wait those 5 years like players do. I'm pretty sure they don't. But he will for sure be in the Hall of Fame. Champ Bailey re-injures his left foot against the Colts last night. And Cowboys rested Miles Austin. Let's see. Jonathan Stewart ruled out for this Thursday against Tampa Bay. And Jay Cutler is out for 4 to 6 weeks, and so is Lance Briggs. I think he's out for the year. The Buccaneers are still evaluating Doug Martin. There's been rumors that his injury was not career-threatening, but no, don't think that, guys. But he is out. Oh, my God, we got 46 seconds. Dang, we didn't get to finish the show, guys. It's so disappointing. But he is not out for the season. And that's about it. Bryant McKinney was traded to the Dolphins. He was with the Ravens. And MLB news, let's get into it real quick. I think we got 20 seconds. Tigers, Jim Leyland stepped down. I feel like I said his last name wrong, but did step down as manager. Don Mattingly of my Dodgers is not looking like he's going to stay. Miguel Cabrera is going to have groin injury surgery. Lester to start Game 1 of the World Series, and I hope I didn't get cut off. Are we still on? Yes, we are, guys. Woo! And the Dodgers signed a Cuban infielder for $28 million. and we finished the show. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you listen to me later on, and I'll see you guys Friday. Deuces.